Hello, hello, my friends. I'm gonna sit down and make somewhat of a real video. You know how it is for me. Mostly it's just winging stuff and pausing the recording and showing something. But that's a lot more than the short I put out recently, right? And yeah, I was inspired by a friend to do what he called the. He gave me a title suggestion, a take on takes. It's kind of like a Inception kind of thing, like a dream within a dream within a dream. So more interesting than the actual announcement of the deal for me, for making this video, because I'm pretty sure anybody who has any real interest in it is already fully aware of the deal. So I'm not going to be another video sitting here reading through the deal between Quarm and Daybreak, because we already know that. But what I think will be more fun is to respond to some of the takes about that deal, because it's been popping off. It's been popping off. And I was planning, and maybe I still will, I was planning on making a more in-depth video, like picking all the juicy takes from all the different content creators and some of the comments from all the various videos, and like really going through each one. And I was just starting to do that because I actually haven't been watching them. I've been kind of completely out of the loop. I've been doing other things, and I'm not even sure I'm going to really get back into Quarm. But my friend, I will. I'll do like a little dabbling in my free time on my hardcore mage, and that's about it. But my friend was like, he was like, he's like, dude, I can't believe this crap that some people are saying. I'm like, really? And so he pointed me towards a video, and this one just came so far out of left field, like this comment that this guy made, that I mean, no, I don't mean to say this guy. It's because I'm really bad with names. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've watched a couple of his videos before. Gymnastic Goldfish. So without further ado, let's get into what he's saying. And I'm going to show the video. I hope it's okay. If for some reason it's not and my YouTube channel gets shut down, goodbye, everybody. And if you have a problem with me showing a clip of your video, please feel free to reach out to me and I will take the video down. But I'm assuming that you don't. I would not have a problem with you, showing any of my video on your channel. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to pull up the clip from I'm going to introduce this video and pull up the particular clip that's inspiring me to actually sit down and make a video right now instead of spending more time to prepare a longer video, because I'm finding it hilarious. I'll save the rest for after you've heard what I'm talking about. All right, so I was trying to get a full screen image of the thumbnail because it's hilarious. But every time when I opened it up, because it was there, like in the small window, but bigger than this. But as soon as I clicked it, the video started playing. And even when I went back to the beginning of the video, it was just the video footage and not the thumbnail. So if anybody knows how, I could just look at the thumbnail. But here it is. Project Quarm can stay, but everything's gone. And then the title of the video is Daybreak lets Project Quarm live, but guts all its custom content. Right? All right, so all of its custom. All right, so he's going to go through what happened here. Let me get to the relevant points here. All right, I think we're coming to the point here where he's going to talk about the changes to Quarm that resulted in everything being gone. Let's just listen to anybody who's familiar with Quarm. I needn't say more. Let's hear it.
Some of those modifications, however, were determined to be a step too far for a personal, non-commercial fan-based browser. As such, we were asked to remove specific items as part of our agreement. These are the following items. Custom zones. All these custom zones. Custom rating counters.
All right, so first off, custom zones. All these custom zones. All these custom zones. We have Miria's domain. I don't even know what that is. Just to give you a sense of how big and an important organ of Quarm these custom zones are, I don't even know what Miria's domain is. Okay? Shards of Decay. That was the Halloween event for the first Halloween. It was a special zone from some later expansion that they used for 2 weeks for Halloween that nobody ended up liking because it had leashing problems. So it ended up being empty after I think like the first week, maybe even shorter time than that. Plane of Injustice. Secrets already decided to never use this custom zone again. It's another holiday event zone that kind of gave too many fungies out and made people level too fast. So it was already out anyway. And Fireclad Ocean is I think it's a PvP version of Iceclad Ocean. So you can go to Fireclad Ocean and it's open PvP there. So these are the custom zones, such important guts of the whole server, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Some raid encounters, custom player races, item tinting and armor fixes, custom expansion, incomplete quests, and we may remove extra additions on request by Daybreak Game Company at any time.
So just to be clear, we've reached the end of the list. We have the custom zones, already talked about. Custom raid encounters, a single encounter called Keti Shah. These are two words I've never heard before. I don't raid, but even if I did, I'm pretty sure that a single raid encounter is not the guts of the server, right? And then custom expansions, Terror of Soul. I also have never heard of this expansion. It was not announced that it was coming, to the best of my knowledge, but maybe it was something they were working on that they were going to release later. I heard some whisperings about it. So it's something that is not even in the game yet and might have been later that has now not going to come. It's incomplete quests. Oh yeah, because we're all doing all those quests. That's what we're doing in EverQuest, right? Is that we're doing the NPC quests. Oh yeah, let's not forget. Maybe this is the guts. The custom player race and class unlocks. Ixar Rogue and their related items. Ixar Ranger, Wood Elf Beast Lords, Barbarian Paladins, and the Froglock race, which also was not in the game yet. Right? So I don't think you can count things that are not even in the game as part of the guts of Quarm. I don't think anyone was like, I'm just hanging in there for Froglocks. You know what I'm saying? And as far as these other custom races, they sound cool, right? Ixar Ranger, Ixar Rogue. They were so rare because you had to do a quest to unlock the ability to do that class. And so we're talking like 99% of the Quarm players do not use these custom race and class combos, I'm thinking. If I'm wrong, excuse me, 90%, okay? So this is where it gets juicy. Let's continue.
As part of the agreement, Project Quarm was asked by Daybreak Company to implement a player cap of 1,200 players.
Okay, now here we're getting to the actual important matters, which has nothing to do with the content of Quarm, is the player cap. This is the real thing, okay? The player cap and also the instant release of Lucklin. Don't talk to me about how to pronounce it. The player cap is huge. For me personally, it's not, because I'm in China. You guys know when I'm playing 600 about. But yeah, that is going to impact people. It's the player cap. Okay, the player cap. I don't have to say a whole bunch about that. You guys understand how that works. 1,200. That is the one thing about this that I'm like, oof, I wish that could have been better. But, I mean,
additional players past this point will be placed in a queue. However, we additionally obtained permission to add offline bazaar trading to the game on the launch of the Luclin expansion.
So the reason for this that he probably doesn't know because he doesn't play Quarm, as he says later in this video, which explains some of his thinking that Quarm has been gutted by the removal of Ixar rogues and rangers and some custom zones that are pretty much not even in use, and one custom raid encounter. Quarm has been gutted because of this custom content being gone. Well, see, Quarm was kind of like P99. Most of the people are there for the classic experience, not for the custom content. And I think that's what's happening here is he loves THJ, and he's thinking about THJ, and he's talking about Quarm. That's what I think is happening, because if THJ were to have its custom content removed, THJ would be gutted. And so he's seeing the custom content of Quarm removed, and so he thinks Quarm is gutted. What he doesn't realize is the custom content of Quarm amounts to like fingernail extensions and eyelashes. It's not the organs of Quarm. So Quarm is far from gutted. Like I'm gonna log on, and the only thing any of this is going to affect me at all is that now I can get AAs. That's it. It's going to have no other effect to anything I've done on any of my characters on Quarm. I'm not in any of the custom zones. I don't have any of the custom classes. I'm not doing any custom raid encounters. I didn't even know anything about custom item tinting. Like, gutted? Really? Here I am talking about something he says in a second. I'm trying to get to that quote. Let's see if we can get to it here.
Note, players in the offline bazaar do not count against the player count.
The offline bazaar, and some of us are speculating that the entire jump to Luckland is to deal with all the mules that are stuck in East Commons or something, so that they have a place to trade without counting against the player cap. So I think that's where that is coming from. They're like, well, people are already using the mule system. We want to keep that in the game, but if we use it as it is now, it's going to count against the player cap. But if we switch to the bazaar system, they can be offline traders, and it will not count against the player cap. That's the only reason I think we're jumping to Luckland.
So,
is it here?
They got gutted.
There it is. They got gutted. Come on, Quarmites. Like, is this not a laughable take? I mean, I know many of you are maybe not happy about the deal with Daybreak, but let's be honest, has Quarm been gutted? We still have Zeal. We still have pretty much everything. We've had our fingernail extensions clipped and our eyebrows clipped, or our eyelash extensions clipped. Maybe we had to take some makeup off or some shit. But gutted? This is a completely, like... this person obviously doesn't play Quarm, and I think he's obviously thinking about THJ. So
100% gutted.
100% gutted. Just like, are you looking for clickbait, dude? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And I've got to say, like, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to say something that I feel like might be an unpopular opinion here. So don't get too upset with me.
Don't worry, dude. I'm just laughing. You're so far off base, I can't even get upset.
I honestly, I'm not trying to throw whatever quote-unquote shade at anybody, but this is 100% Secret's fault. 100%. Daybreak didn't go after them at all. So
he's right. It is 100% Secret's fault that we now have a deal with Daybreak and we can operate without having to worry about being shut down. It's horrible. And, well, oh no, we can't use Shard of Decay. And you're going to have to deal with a fucking Wood Elf Ranger instead of an Ixar Ranger. And a Barbarian Beast Lord. The end is nigh. The end is nigh. What have you done, Secrets? You have betrayed us.
So, for him for their starters, shut the server down without considering any of his player base whatsoever.
Without considering any of his player base whatsoever. Or maybe considering the player base because they want Quarm to survive.
And then, at that point, to go crawling to Daybreak, begging for that server to be able to go into some kind of a written agreement.
And succeeding at that.
And then I can't imagine if this is the negotiated response that you got.
And it's great. That custom content was nothing, dude. Like, even if you don't play Quarm, like, how do you think this means Quarm is gutted? You got to just be way off your rocker. See, what I think it is he's thinking about THJ because people are seeing this and they're starting to freak out. They're realizing this is reality hitting, that THJ is not coming through this unless they win the lawsuit, which is a freaking... like, I don't know how that would happen. Best of luck to you. I'm no, like, huge Daybreak supporter, but that's where all this is coming from. Because they're seeing this, and they're like, oh, no. If this is what they do to Quarm, then THJ is screwed. That's where this is coming from.
I don't even want to see what they said first. You can only be a Wood Elf. That's the only thing you can do. You can't leave Kelthin.
He's so far off his rocker, I literally have no idea what he's talking about. You can only be a Wood Elf and you can't leave Kelethin? He must have gotten some idea mixed up in his head, which is what happens when you're entering the ocean of delusion due to attachment. Because you start to get, when you get too attached to something and it's threatened, you get a little crazy and you get a little disconnected from reality. And it's like, bro, dude, what you're seeing is not what's happening. And like now we have some idea about you have to be a wood elf and you can't leave Kelethin.
Like I don't have no idea what their original
We could just stop right there. You don't have no idea. You lost, man.
like requirements and what they had going on was, and I don't really want to. I can't imagine what it was. I think that what happened was is that he went in there, not went in there, but you know, like responded to these requests and everything else,
Responded to these requests.
and just immediately rolled over.
Wait, the request to remove Ixar Rangers, and we're gonna give you a written deal to operate legally as an EMU server if you take out these few custom classes and a few custom zones that you don't even use? And he immediately rolled over. Yeah, he did. The only thing he should have argued about was the player cap, dude. Like, that's where you should be making a video, is about that player cap. That's where our secrets might have maybe done a better job of pushing. No offense, secrets, because you don't have any cards, so you couldn't do much pushing. But the player cap is the only thing to really talk about. Like, you think that's the content is the problem? Removing these custom classes and a few custom zones that we don't even use except for Fireclad Ocean? And I don't think many people are even using that. People don't like the PvP zones, except I do, because there's nobody there, which is my point. That how I know that people don't like it, because I go there because other people aren't there. Like, so I can solo with my buds. It's like, dude, and that's only one of the. We still have the other PvP zones. We have the PvP version of Seb and PvP version of all these dungeons that my friends have been using. It's just the Fireclad one because it's customized, because it's not Iceclad. That's why it got taken out, dude. It's like, it's nothing. You're way off, man. Like, I'm no offense. Like, I'm just reacting to what you're saying, and you got to realize how way off you are. Like, ask anybody, dude. This isn't personal. I've watched a couple of your videos. I mean, you're so far off that like I can't even understand how you got to your the only rational conclusion that makes sense as to how you reached the gutted 100% gutted idea is you're thinking of THJ. That's the only thing that makes any sense about what you're saying, is you're actually thinking about THJ so much and you're projecting it onto Quarm. It's the only way I can logically connect the dots from the point of this, from this announcement to the gutted. It's a complete disconnect from actual reality in regards to Quarm, but it totally makes perfect sense in regards to THJ. The only thing that should be concerning is the player cap, and maybe the release of Luckland early, which might screw up. You know, people who got the whole raid thing. We're gonna raid and get all the top gear and then go into Luckland. For them, that's the thing. But I think the raids are not even going to be open. Like, Luckland will be open, but the raids will not. So they can still do their raid progression in Velius. But as far as everything else you're saying, I mean, and the example of how off you are is this idea that I literally cannot figure out where you got the idea that something about. I should go back and listen to it again. We should do that. Where is this? What was this? What was the context? Where did this come from? When you were saying you have to be a wood elf, and you have to stay in Kelethin, like, wow. Let's try to find. Let me try to find that real quick. I'm just gonna play this part again, for entertainment.
Note: players in the offline bazaar do not count
As we
against
try
the
to find the
player.
wood elf thing.
So they got gutted, 100% gutted, and I've got to say, like, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to say something that I feel like might be an unpopular opinion here. So don't get too upset with me. I honestly, I'm not trying to throw whatever quote unquote shade at anybody, but this is 100% Secret's fault. 100%. Daybreak didn't go after them at all. So for him for their starters, shut the server down.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this, even though we're looking for the wood elf thing. This part, I actually, if it were me, I would have let the server continue to run, but maybe still reached out to Daybreak. But shutting it down wasn't some huge faux pas. Far from a huge faux pas. I think we could have let it run. I don't think we were in the crosshairs, But maybe the shutting it down was one of the factors that led to them allowing for this agreement, which he obviously thinks we shouldn't have taken. But I think it's an epic agreement, dude. It's epic because I was expecting, because this is what I would have done. I was expecting Daybreak to be like this. No, no, that was all I was expecting to hear from Daybreak. So I think maybe that plus the fact that we weren't making money like THJ, the deference the secrets paid there, and whatever else she did behind the scenes actually made this possible. And I am amazed that this deal even happened. And I think besides the player cap, it's great. The custom content was an afterthought. It wasn't even part of the initial server launch or vision, really. Maybe the custom expansion, which still hasn't even come out yet. So how can you say we're gutted for some content that we're not even using or not even a reality yet? Like these extra custom races, those are just little like side projects that the devs did along the way for fun, dude. Anyway, let's try to find here. I'm trying to understand where this idea comes from that you have to be a wood elf, one, and two, you have to stay in Kelthon. I'm just trying to like see where this popped out of, right?
Without considering any of his player base whatsoever. And then, at that point, to go crawling to Daybreak, begging for that server to be able to go into some kind of a written agreement.
So if he's not considering the player base, who is Secrets considering? Excuse me, she? Or whatever, come on. If she's not considering the player base, then why does that mean she's not considering? Couldn't she logically do those things in the interest of the player base? Like, why all this unnecessary shade coming out of nowhere, dude? Attachment to THJ. They're just angry that there was a deal made because it scares them about THJ's prospects. That's my opinion.
And then I can't imagine if this is the negotiated response that you got. I don't even want to see what they said first. You can only be a wood elf. That's the only thing you can do. You can't leave Kelthon.
Wow, you can only be a wood elf. That's the only thing you can do. You can't leave Kelthon. Did you guys catch where it came from? It must have something to do with the custom classes. Somehow, he got to the idea that you can only be a wood elf and you can only leave Kelthon. I'm hoping at this point he's realized that. I mean, well, maybe his next video will be like, "Oops, I got some idea wrong." But it's like, bro, what? Exhibit A, that you don't know what you're talking about. Pretty irrefutable evidence. You can only be a wood elf and you can't leave Kelthon. Sir, I believe this witness's testimony should be stricken from the record. His credibility has been called into question. Right? Like, bro, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but like, you went out on a limb to attack secrets, and that limb turned out to be a phantom limb. You're like the coyote in the desert, like, who thinks he's walking on the cliff, and then the clouds clear, and he realizes he's standing in the air and he's falling down, dude. Quarm is so far from gutted from this stuff. Like, if you take a minute and think about it again, and try to explain how it's gutted. Or you actually, you know what? Don't, because you don't even play Quarm, so you don't know what you're talking about, dude. None of this is the guts of Quarm at all. Not even close. Most of the stuff, 90% of the player base is not even using. Some of the stuff, as I said, I'm a streamer who's playing on Quarm. I got like 6 characters, 160, a couple in the 50s. I played a crapload of Quarm, dude. And some of the stuff I've never even heard of. I've never even heard of it. Miria's Domain, Kati Shah, the item tinting and armor fixes, Terror of Soul. You want to know what custom content we still have? We still have the legacy loot, bro. Mana Stone, Rubicite. We still have that, bro. We still have Fungies, bro. Like, that's the custom content that's of any real value, and we got to keep that. This fucking deal is awesome. You can go get a no-drop Mana Stone, a no-drop Fungi, and a whole set of no-drop Pinkicite. And that was not something because of Daybreak. That was because we wanted to give the people who actually were there and got the Rubicite in the beginning a little bit of a prestige, like I have the real Rubicite, which I do, and it's cool. All the custom content that matters, that makes Quarm unique, which is mostly the legacy loot, is still in the game, bro. and the game itself was still in the game. Our awesome camera control was Zeal, and our map is still in the game. Dude, we still got everything that's of any importance. It's just a couple of little frills that most of the player base is not using that's gone. So where are you coming from, bro? You must just be scared of THJ, because that's the only way you can make this leap. It doesn't. Nothing else makes sense.
Like, I don't have no idea what their original like requirements and what they had going on was, and I don't really want to. I can't imagine what it was. I think that what happened is that he went in there, not went in there, but like responded to these requests and everything else, and just immediately rolled over.
Okay, so we don't need to listen to the rest. Like, this is just him painting his picture at this point. And that was about what I wanted to reply to. But let me pause the video and see if there's anything else worth it, since I was going to maybe do a couple of things. Maybe I'll find a comment to talk about too, because there was an interesting comment. What was it? Maybe I can just remember what it was, and that'll do. I'm not a professional channel, you guys. Just want to get the ideas across, and chat with you. Someone was saying, Quarm's dead. It's the same idea. Quarm's dead now. Yeah, this is the comment I was thinking of replying to until my friend took me to this video. And it's just ridiculous. Like, nobody who actually plays Quarm is going to think that it's dead unless they were heavily invested in like an Ixar Ranger or a Wood Elf Beast Lord. Now they're like, oh no, But like, I'm telling you guys, they were rare to see. I think I've seen one Wood Elf Beast Lord, and I don't think I've seen any Ixar Rangers or Ixar Rogues yet. Now, granted, I don't play a whole lot anymore, and when I do, I'm usually doing stuff with the boys in dungeons. But I'm pretty sure, like, we still got our solo modes, self-found mode, hardcore modes that are coded in. We still got the legacy loot, We still got our instances for guilds. We still got PvP instances of popular dungeons where you can go in and the camps will be open, but there's the danger of getting ganked, right? We still got all the custom content that is of any real value, okay? The only stuff that was cut are tiny little frills, custom classes that were hard to access, custom zones that were used for particular events. I mean, I think we had a custom zone called Vexar, which wasn't a custom zone. We just brought it in, and we added it into the game to give another place for people to level, and it's not on the custom zone list that was cut. So, like, really, like, and then one custom raid encounter, like, I know I've said it like 3 times already. It just blows my mind that I don't know what's going on in this mind here, but you're way off, man. I'm not trying to be insulting, but you're just so far off that's why my response is like this. It's like, I'm trying to understand it. And I guess you got to be seeing it through like THJ lenses, where THJ is completely defined by its custom content. Like, that's what THJ is. And while I'm on the topic, let me talk about THJ. This is something else I wanted to reply to, all right? Tons of comments. I'm not going to go find them and show them to you. You can go find them yourself. Go look on any video talking about this matter, and you're going to see them. People just boom, boom, boom about how they wouldn't even be playing EverQuest if it weren't for THJ, and how awesome it was to be able to run around as a multi-class and solo everything. Well, you know what? That makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that you would not be playing EverQuest otherwise, because you clearly do not appreciate what is great about EverQuest. The thing that I always tell my friends when I'm talking about EverQuest, I'm like, why they should play it. I'm like, you should play this game because you got to get a whole group to kill that one mob. That's right, I said mob. I got a friend who watches my videos sometimes, and he hates when I call a single monster a mob. He just hates it. But hey, it's EQ terminology, baby. You need a whole group. You got to be working together. You got to have that tank. You got to have that healer. You gotta have that DPS, maybe some crowd control. You gotta work together and take down one mob at a time. And then people are like, well, I wouldn't be playing EverQuest if I couldn't run through the whole zone and solo grind everything like I do in World of Warcraft, or like all the other MMOs that ever came after EverQuest. Good riddance then. That's what I say. People say it like, good, you weren't even supposed to be playing EverQuest, bro. Like, seriously, like, people love it so much because they made it just like the other MMOs, where it's just run and gun, level. And another comment that I thought was funny. I've accomplished more in a month than I ever accomplished the whole time I played back in the day. And yeah, I know you did. Because it's so easy. It's like having the cheat mode on. I'm level 35 and I'm running through lower Guck and I'm just slaughtering everything, circling back around, waiting for it to respawn again. Is that the EverQuest experience that we wanted? I get it. It tickles those dopamines. But, dude, has Daybreak fucked up the game? I guess. I think boxers and farmers fucked up the game, and Daybreak didn't do enough to stop them. It's the only complaint I really have about Daybreak. If it weren't for that, TLPs would be cool. I'd like them to release a bit slower. They're too fast, man. That's another reason I like Quarm's slow release. But yeah, I mean, I hear all the chatter long before this thing about how Daybreak doesn't listen to blah 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 blah. I'm kind of a lone wolf, even though I'm making videos. So I'm like, whatever. Like, but it's why don't they stop the mage bots farming stuff and the TLPs and like I can't go and get an item. There's someone's camping it. I have to buy it from them. This is ridiculous, you know. And then the chronos and stuff. So more THJ mania is my only explanation. I when I try to figure out where this vision is coming from, I see THJ glasses on. It's the only explanation. For say, oh, Quarm's been gutted. There's a few custom classes removed and a few custom zones that are not even in use removed. Quarm is 100% gutted. Oh my gosh. Oh, and again, like, if you don't understand, I'm not coming from a place of disagreeing with him. I'm coming from a place of trying to process where that conclusion came from. It came from the same brain that also came to the conclusion that you have to be a wood elf and you can't leave Kelethin. And good luck figuring out where that came from. I gave it a shot. If you'd like to say where that idea came from, I would like to know. Please let me know in the comments or make a video yelling at me if you want. Or if somebody else thinks they know where that idea came from. I'm literally trying to find the dots to connect and I can't do it. Like, what? You have to be a wood elf and you can't leave Kelethin. That's how gutted. Quarm is so gutted. If you log into Quarm now, you have to be a wood elf and you can't leave Kelethin. But we're still going to run the server. We're still going to do it. It's like, bro, how do you utter those words and like without being like, wait, I must be wrong about this idea. You know what I mean? Like, that can't be right. Where did I get this idea? Let me double check it. Like, wow. Just wow. THJ mania, dude. Yeah, you THJ guys are like, if it's THJ or nothing, then nothing. Goodbye. You know? And you know what I think? THJ was going to crash anyway. After a year or two max, people were going to get tired of that. It was fun because, like, oh, I remember when I used to be so hard to do this and now I can do everything. It's so fun. But then after a while, it's like, wait, I'm just running around hitting the same buttons and everything's just dying. I was going to do THJ for one reason. I thought, since I never get to play at the right times, right? I'm never going to be able to see the raid content. I still, to this day, have not even seen some of these monsters that I've heard of, you know, like Yellow-Neck and all those dragons and stuff. I've never even seen them. Like, I don't even watch videos, so I've literally never even seen an image of them. And I'm like, it would be cool to experience that raid content. But what happened was, Wolfdar wanted to take me to some particular zone where we could level the fastest, right? And I was like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my THJ character. I'm going to get to like level 50, and then I'm going to do the classic raid content at the max level for that expansion, right? And I'm going to make videos. I'm going to show it. I'm going to experience it. It's going to be cool. And then I'm going to go to level 60. I'm going to do the raid content for, Kunark and Velius. I'm gonna see this stuff, see the fights, see the mobs, understand, and like get that experience. It's the only way I'm gonna be able to do it. Make some videos to share my first time experience with this raid content. But what happened is Wolfdar's like, well, we need to go to Velius to like crank out the AAs for you because you need the AAs to be able to do it. And the XP is so much faster in this one zone. I don't even remember what zone it was. So he's like, just run with me. We're gonna kill the Kunark dragons real quick so we can unlock the Velius. And it was like what I realized, and no offense to Wolfdar, he's my bud, I love him, and I did it because I wanted to play with him and do this with him. But I was like, I'm not experiencing the raid content. This raid mob is just another mob that I bash and button mash on until he dies now. The beauty of the raid content wasn't the mob like model or the mob's name or even whatever mob's moves that it had. It was the complex coordination required to defeat it. Just like the beauty with the rest of EverQuest, dude. And that's what THJ cut out, and that's why some people like it. But to say that it was like it's the real EQ now is like, I get you liked it, but no, man. It's not EQ. The one thing that makes EQ different from all the other MOGs, MMORPGs is like, um, you don't get to just run around and solo everything. You know? And I get why it's fun, but it's too pedestaled for what it is, in my opinion. So, anyway, what a take. What a take. Let me go back to see if there's anything else worth talking about in this video, since we're still actually kind of in the beginning of it. Actually, I want to show this next part right after where I paused last, because it's quite relevant.
And that's crazy to me because I have no idea who this Secrets is. I have no idea. I know that I've seen the name as far back as P99 when I played on there. I've seen the name go back as far as that, but I have no idea who he is. Like,
So this is my point. This is why I'm saying he's seeing through THJ glasses, because he has no idea who Secrets is. He doesn't play on Quarm. So he thinks that the custom content is the server. And he thinks that it all has been removed. Because he doesn't know what the custom content is. He just sees a list of some custom content that was removed, and he's making other assumptions.
zero idea.
Zero idea.
The only thing I know is that he ran Quarm. I tried to get on Quarm a couple times. It wasn't for me.
See?
A good server, though. I mean, it seemed like it ran well. I tried it at the very beginning whenever there was like some serious view issues. Like, I couldn't like scroll out and like play and stuff.
See, now, the Zeal, I can't go back to P99 now. Because the Zeal camera is so good.
But other than that, it seemed like a fine server. I mean, it seemed like it was designed around having custom content.
How does it seem like it was designed around having custom content? He played Quarm on the launch. Please tell me, what about launch Quarm was designed around having custom content? And if you're talking about the legacy loot, we still have that. This is total just leap to justify all of his previous rationale that Quarm has been gutted now.
And being able to do things that you couldn't necessarily do in P99.
Like what? Get Rubicite? Get a Mana Stone? Still can, buddy.
And things like that, which gave it that appeal to do.
Look, he doesn't even mention the custom content he's thinking about. Need I say more?
I honestly feel like this is kind of a strategic move from Daybreak, because what is this going to do to all the player base of THJ?
And here we get to we're trying to get down to the heart of the matter. My will gets weak when I think about what's gonna happen to THJ. Oh no. That's what it is.
I mean, honestly, if you were looking forward to something coming out of this THJ lawsuit thing that was positive, now you're worried if they're going to gut Quarm. I can't imagine what they're going to do to THJ, right? In the back.
So you see where it's coming from. You see where it's coming from. He's scared about what they're going to do to THJ.
Your mind? Remove custom content. That's all THJ is.
Yep. See, that is true. It's not true about Quarm, though. That's where the conflation is happening. It's far from true about Quarm. And the parts that are custom, that are truly relevant, have been preserved. But THJ is screwed.
I mean, the base game is almost not there unless you're looking at the zones and things like that. You've got all custom items, you got custom trio classes, you got everything. So I think if anything, I feel like this was literally implemented to scare the heck out of any kind of player base that THJ has got. I don't think it's going to work. I think that people that play THJ are devoted to THJ.
He's so centered on THJ that he thinks that this entire deal was made to scare THJ. Bro. Bro.
Period. And I think they're going to keep playing it until they pull the plug.
They're using legal courts, and whatever happens in the court is going to be what causes whatever to happen. They don't need to try to scare the player base. That doesn't make any sense, bro.
That's just how it is. It's a fun, unique way to experience the game.
But you see, that's how it is for him. All of this is actually about THJ for him.
And there's nothing Daybreak can do to take that away from players until they actually pull the plug on it. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I'm scared now. I guess I won't play the game that I've fallen in love with that these guys have created.
Yeah, Daybreak knows that, bro. This actually doesn't have something to do with THJ.
It's not going to happen. And it's surely not going to be enough to bring them back to their crappy TLP that they've got.
Anyway, that was the part I wanted to show. Let me quickly look at it, the rest, and I'll unpause if there's anything else worth sharing. Alright, I just want to get this one on the video because it's relevant.
This is crazy that they would literally just allow their server to be absolutely destroyed for no reason. No reason. Unless Secrets is lying. I mean, it was pretty much set out in the open that they never received any kind of cease and desist letter. They never received anything. So basically, he just shut his server down with no warning to any of his players.
So yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm trying to feel the mood that's coming through, and it's so like no one like it was such a bad thing to his player base, and I think it's because he's feeling like this deal really compromises Quarm's or THJ's position, and that's why he's painting secrets with this brush, right?
And then went into some agreement to completely strip the server of every single thing that made it unique.
Such as XR Rangers. I would go through it again, but I've already said it like 3 times. It's all still there, bro.
So I mean, anybody that has spent, I know that it was designed around a ideology of not spending as much time on that server as you would have to, like on P99 to get progression. But I can guarantee you, there's still dads out there and whatever the server was aimed at that have spent hundreds of hours on there.
Who said that it was designed to not have to spend as much time? This idea comes from some of the camp contestation being opened up, but that was just to make it possible for people to do it without having to compete against other players. But leveling still slow as hell, bro.
That are now completely, I don't know that they're going to want to go back to that now. The peak of Quarm was that it was a customized server.
This coming from a guy who didn't even play it, bro. And the custom content that was the peak of it, the gem of it, being able to get Rubicite, Mana Stone, and J Boots from Najina, all of that is still in the game. It's still there. It's totally off.
I also don't think that the owners of THJ are going to roll over and show their belly like this and be like, hey, yeah, no, we'll agree to completely strip and destroy our server.
He doesn't get it, dude. This is a good deal for Quarm, man. We lost next to nothing as far as content. I don't know where he's getting this idea. I've already said it like 4 times. It's like I don't know where it's coming from. Where he thinks all the custom. Did he not know that we have like the Mana Rock and the Pinkasite and the J Boots, and that all of that is not mentioned in this custom content that's being removed? And did he not know that the zones mentioned here are hardly used at all? And the player class combinations? I mean, how is that the guts of the game? Now I can't make a Wood Elf Beast Lord. Woe is me. It's such reaching. It's such delusion.
We'll keep it up though. Why not just take the server down?
Why take the server down? Anyway, I'm just repeating myself at this point. Let me see if there's anything new. I'm really going to try to have the discipline to not unpause and be like, look at this guy.
It was like, oh yeah, you forgot about the homework. Like, why? Why did you put yourself in a situation that now you've taken away everything that made your server unique?
I know I said I was going to find new stuff, you guys, but I keep skipping a minute ahead and a minute ahead, and I just find the same thing being said over and over again about you taking away everything that's unique.
In
I'm going to
fact,
keep it on.
here's
I'm
a
going to keep you
written
with me.
guarantee that you can keep doing everything you're doing. No, of course they're not going to. You know what that would do to their litigation with THJ?
But that's exactly what they did, bro. Here's a guarantee you can continue to do what you're doing. Just take out those custom classes and those custom zones. And those incomplete quests that like Ixar Cudgel. Like we're gonna live with the, believe it or not, without the Ixar Cudgel and the shackle for the Ixar Rogue, we're actually gonna be all right.
Oh yeah, you keep doing all your custom stuff, and then they show that in court that they agreed to all that. All this did was give more firepower to them against THJ.
See, there it is again. We are now, he's angry at Secrets because we are now guilty of giving them more firepower against THJ. Bro, let me tell you, you had a paper tank and THJ's got a plasma rifle, dude. They didn't need any more ammo. This is not even on the radar of that at all, bro. This is a side thing like, oh, this person's talking to us, giving us a deal. All right, yeah, it's okay. Because we're not even really thinking about you. We're on this. The only thing he's right on is that things could have probably continued as they were, no problem, without taking the server down. However, the deal is awesome, bro. The deal is awesome, except for the player cap. I admit that. That sucks. We'll survive, though. We'll survive. Maybe it can get expanded to like 1,500 at some point, or maybe we could just like let people on, and Daybreak probably won't do anything about it. I probably shouldn't say that on the video. But that's a possibility, right? Maybe a year down the road, we just kind of like let there be more people on the server. But I think after like the waves of like a new expansion release or whatnot, I don't think we're hitting that cap so much and going too much past it. Maybe 1,600 sometimes, but then after a few months pass into an expansion, it drops down. So I mean, yeah, it sucks, but it's far from the end of the server, you know.
They're going to implement these kind of rules. Zero custom.
Let's see what else he's got
I
here.
know I'm ranting, and I get it, and it's like I don't even get removing custom content. Does that mean no EXP potions? Those
They didn't say anything about the EXP potions, and if you don't get a potion that gives you 50% more EXP, is the server gutted?
help make lower levels a little less grindy, or exactly. All of us have jobs. We work with blah blah.
So now we're gonna start saying exactly about the XP pots, which were not even mentioned, so they're probably still in the game.
Blah. Secret said EXP potion remains intact. That's good.
So he's just going through comments now.
It looks good on the Reddit. It looks good on paper. But are they going to go back to the TLP? EverQuest is something people want to play.
No, we're just going to continue to play Quarm. Just because we can't make a Wood Elf Beast Lord and we can't go to Fireclad Ocean and there's one raid encounter that's gone. You think we're going to quit the server? This is ridiculous.
It's an itch. You went into the thief's house, handed him a gun, and said, "Would you like all my stuff?" Well, of course they're going to want all your stuff. Why wouldn't they? You made it.
But they didn't take it like nearly any of our stuff. This is so ridiculous, bro. The whole premise for everything else built on top of it is ridiculous. Go play Quarm. Ask anybody who plays Quarm. Is Quarm gutted? Like where are the people? Is anybody commenting on his videos who plays Quarm? Is like, dude, you're off your rocker? Like this is unbelievable.
Easy for him. Oof. Yeah, I agree. That's like the best comment so far. Just
oof.
Straight oof.
Okay.
Secrets made it clear that she was desperate for a deal, and
yeah, of course she was, because unlike you THJ Kool-Aid drinkers, we know that the emulator is using intellectual property illegally and can be shut down. And she doesn't want that to happen. So she made a deal. And it's a pretty good deal. You want to like call her out for not being brave? You don't understand the position that we're in. Guys are on the Kool-Aid, man.
Daybreak, yep, took full advantage of this player cap nonsense.
Yeah, player cap's the worst thing. See, at least in the comments, people are more sensible. They're thinking about the player cap. This guy thinks the custom content was completely, and the server is completely gutted. It's like, bro, that's THJ you're thinking of, man.
Won't even allow her to explain the allowing them to stay open with certain guidelines, but not THJ. These monsters are trying to stay open the whole time, and I mean, it's the secrets person.
The secrets person.
This, I don't know. It makes me like.
They went into this with deference to the people who own the intellectual property rights, and so now our server is going to survive. Yeah, that's right, bro.
It makes me kind of. I just figured that there would be like a
jealous. It makes you kind of jealous. That's the word you're looking for.
Group of people that kind of got together and was like, "Hey, we're all being attacked."
But we're not all being. We are all being attacked. That was my beef with THJ. Started monetizing, advertising everywhere, and even if they weren't doing RMT, I admit they would have been targeted because they had too big of a player base. But what did they do? The fact that they were making money probably changed the nature of that response from Daybreak. If they were completely not making any money but they had this huge player base, I'm not sure they would be hit with a lawsuit like that out of nowhere. Maybe, but once the lawsuit hits, they did nothing to try to defer to Daybreak and protect the rest of the EQ emulator community.
Let's go ahead and do this.
But we're all supposed to get behind them. Like, where's them getting behind us, bro? They crossed the line, and then now we're supposed to come and join them on the fire in front of the firing squad, like.
And stand together. That way, we have a better chance.
A better chance of what? Getting shut down because you're using the intellectual property illegally. Okay, you're breaking the law. So if you want to, well, I'm breaking the law too. We're breaking the law together. Woohoo! Now I'm going to take all y'all down.
The end game here being what we all want.
No, dude, it's not what we all want, man. THJ is not what we all want.
But that's not what happened at all.
We're realistic, bro. We're not going to be like, we all want this, so you should just let us use your intellectual property rights without any complaint or legal action against us. Because we all want it. Yay! Such delusion.
You had someone, go in, I guess, and just like, I don't know if it was crocodile tears or what, but I mean, it is what it is.
Crocodile tears or what? I don't even know what he's talking about again.
The case with THJ, and that sucks because I still like playing on THJ. So
there we have it, bro. That's all you need to say, man. That's all you need to say. You didn't need all the other delusional take on the Project Quarm being gutted, bro. That's all you had to say. And I'd have no problem with that. I'd be here sympathizing with you, man. Like, yeah, I feel you on that. Too bad.
But that's it for me, guys. I just I had.
So. Yeah, that's also it for me talking about it for you. Like, another example of the power of mob mentality and how everybody in the world and I'm going to get philosophical here for a second, please excuse me, but everybody in the world, they all think that they're noble, rational, and they have an objective and valid viewpoint. And we underestimate the power of our addictions. Now, we commonly, we can look at people who are like addicted in the social sense, where they're like hooked on heroin, and we can like see how that has diluted their mentality and how they think that they're still honest, but they're like lying and stealing stuff to support their habit, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. But what we don't realize is that even some of the socially accepted and socially normal things that we do and have, we also get addicted. And it just as badly obfuscates our thinking. And I think the peak of, you can see people thinking that THJ is in the right and Daybreak is in the wrong, without saying Daybreak is the knight and the hero. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying you're living in a delusion. Daybreak is a company. This is their intellectual property that they use to make money. Now take those conditions to another situation, and then maybe you could see clearly. Any other game, or maybe not even a game, a book, a movie, a piece of music, someone takes that property and uses it to make some money, or even if they don't make money off of it, they use that property, that song, a portion of that movie. Um, a movie theater gets a movie illegally and they start showing it. Even if they're showing it for free, are any of us going to be surprised when the producers of that movie sue them? You know what I mean? But when it's something that you love and you think feels so good, so wonderful, so revolutionary, almost religious, right? It's almost religious, the attitude here. Then it's like, because Daybreak's the demons, the THJ is the Jesus, and Daybreak said the demons. How dare they try to shut us down for using their intellectual... Like, what did you think was going to happen? Think about it in another context, and you'll see that, like, bro. And there's a guy, Thomas Van. Look up Thomas Van, dude. I love his videos. He loves THJ. It's his favorite EQ to play. But he fucking knows the fucking reality of the situation. It's like, what did you expect? He's all like, I didn't know that they didn't have permission when they started selling the shards of memory in the game. I thought, oh, they must have had permission. Because he has a realistic view of the things. He's not totally like, naive about it and drunk on the Kool-Aid. He's a businessman. He's been in the industry. And then when he heard that they didn't have permission, he's like, what? Like, no wonder this is happening. Like, that's the thing, bro. No wonder this is happening. And you don't have to love Daybreak games. It's not the point. Point is, THJ crossed the line. They brought down the lion on them, and then they decided to fight that lion, and they don't have a fight, bro. It's their intellectual property. And you don't like that. I get it. But why don't you all band together and fund the THJ users creating their own game? But don't be yelling at Daybreak for doing what they're going to do as a business. It's just what they do. It's what they do, right? Like, if there's a bear out in nature and you walked up to him while he's eating berries off the bush and you started to take the berries off the bush right in his face, you gonna get angry at the bear for swiping at you? All the rest of us are hiding in the bushes waiting for the bear to go to sleep, and then we're sneaking up and taking the berries. But you go up, you start grabbing the berries, piss off the bear, he starts swiping at you, you run back to the rest of us in the bush, and now the bear sees all of us. And we're supposed to be angry at the fucking bear. Secrets rocked it. She rocked it. That's a great deal. All the truly worthwhile custom content is still in the game. Zeal, Mana Rocks, Pinkasite, J-Boots, all manner of legacy items that were removed from live that we kept in a no-drop form so people could get and experience those special things that were only available for a limited time that we never got to get. We have instances of the raid zones. We've got PvP instances of dungeons. What else? Those were the custom content that defined Quarm. Not the XR Rangers that came just a couple months ago, I think, or the Barbarian Paladins that also came just recently. Like, not those event zones that weren't even very popular because they had a bunch of mechanic issues with leashing. Those are so far from being an organ that's why I use the example of fingernail extensions. Not even fingernails. They didn't clip our fingernails even. They ripped off plastic fingernail extensions, in my opinion. Armor tinting. Like, really? One single custom raid encounter? Like, come on. Wake up. Wake up, bros. This is a good deal. This is a very good deal, except for the player cap. But everything else is great. And I think taking the deal was the right thing to do. Because now if you refuse the deal, then maybe they shut you down, right? And maybe if you had done nothing in the first place, Things could have just continued as they were. However, that's not an easy decision to make. So I don't think we should be faulting Secrets if maybe there was a likelihood that if she had done nothing, not taken down the server, not reached out to Daybreak, things could have just continued as they were. Like, she's at a crossroads, she had to make a decision and she made one, bro. And this is the result, and it's pretty good. Was it the best? Maybe it could have been better if she hadn't have said anything, hadn't have shut down. Maybe. But to say that she was doing that without giving any care about her player base, like selfishly, like what is she getting out of it? You know what I'm saying? Oh well, I'm blown away, man. I'm blown away. So I should credit the wonderful channel here that I'm got on my video here. Let's see. What's this channel here? It's called Gymnastic Goldfish. I think I watched a couple of his videos, but I don't know, dude. I feel like, we don't always vibe with every personality. Even before this, because you can see I'm not subscribed, and most YouTube streamers about EverQuest that I get any feel for, because I'm a YouTube streamer, I will subscribe to. So that just shows, even before this, I kind of didn't really vibe with the thoughts coming off of this channel so much, and now it's like you can only be a wood elf and you can only stay in Kelton. Like, bro, I wonder if does anybody even say anything about that? No, nobody even bothers to say, like, what are you talking about? Wow. I think you're missing the point. Daybreak owns the IP. This means Project Quarm is infringing on Daybreak's intellectual property. I love the emulation service, but only P99 is legally operating. Why do you think it's okay to steal IP? This is the thing, bro. Just because you love it and you think it's so great doesn't mean it's okay to steal. It does not justify it. Even if they are not. Like, if Robin Hood gets fucking caught, dude, it's like, dude, sorry, bro, you're going to jail, bro. And this is definitely ain't no Robin Hood. Right? Like, and just FYI, THJ will 100% lose the litigation, which I guarantee will never happen. THJ will just stop existing and will operate within the parameters that the owner of the IP dictates. They have no leg to stand on. They are stealing the IP. Boom. Reality check. They're so rare, though. Secrets as an individual started this as a not-for-profit side project. Trying to vilify someone for protecting their own well-being is stupid. You rolled over and gave them everything they wanted, quote-unquote. How do you know this? Right? I know negotiations went on for several weeks. Things could have been way harsher. Only a handful of people know what Daybreak Games came with initially. What major customizations? Here we go. I'm finding it now. What major customizations are we talking about here? When I played on Quarm, it seemed like it was not really customized at all, outside of some goofy party events they would throw for a week at a time. Exactly. Far from gutted. More like plastic fingernail extensions removed. Lol. Thank you. There we go. You said you haven't played on Quarm, so how can you speak about the situation here? 99.99% of the reason people play on Quarm still exists. Maybe if you played on Quarm, you'd have a clue. There we go. Stripped of every single thing that made it unique. This is wildly disingenuous and shows you never played on Quarm. All right. So the comments that are like positive for him are at the top. The algorithm must be moving them around. Bye-bye, THJ. Yeah. No offense, I'm getting pissed when I hear people talking like this. I'm like, good riddance at this point. I think you're being a little hard on a guy who fronts his own time, money, and effort into something. Yep, not to make a profit, unlike THJ. Everyone is tough until they see their name on top of the lawsuit. Yeah. EQ emulation is fun, but it's not worth losing your house. That's the thing, though. Secrets was never named in a lawsuit or even served papers. Secrets went to Daybreak Games like a good doggy. He didn't get any papers recorded. Just shut down his server and went to Daybreak Games, and they told him to cut his EMU, and he signed. The sad part is Daybreak Games has no clue if it's the EMU causing the issue or not. By the time you're sued, it's too late, bro. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Anyway, this video went way longer than I thought, but I think it was fun. I had fun. Hope you had fun. Again, did I mention the name? If you guys want to check it out, come here and comment. Let this guy know that he's in the delusion sphere. He might even be listening, bro. Like, you're so far off base, bro. You're like so far off. Maybe he's even already released another video at this point. Let's check. Gymnastic goldfish. Videos. I think that was his second video. Okay. No, the next video is level 25 Paladin dives into Wailing Caverns. Classic dungeon crawl. Okay, so yeah, he just moved right on. Just looking for the clickbait. Yeah, look at that. 1K views. Got the clickbait going on. Prior to that is bubbling around 500, 600, 700. Got some Minecraft going on. Okay, well. There you have it, boys. The Kool-Aid Delusion. I had some fun. Makes me want to do another one. Pick out some more comments, but I think I said all that I'm going to have to say. I'll just be rehashing. Look out for some solo self-found hardcore mage videos coming soon. Back from Quarm. Back up, baby. Yeah. Woo. Completely not gutted, baby. Completely not gutted. Just a player cap. Ouch. They're not going to affect me, though. I'm in China. Peace and love.